I believe that the majority of top lane simply boils down to how well one player can manage the minion wave compared to the other player. And especially if you're a high rated player or a high yellow player, it's really important to know how to manage your minion wave so that you get either a safe laning phase or an aggressive laning phase. However, it's more important to know how to manipulate the minion wave so that you have a safer laning phase, and that's what we're going to be running through today. First off, I think there are a few general tips you need to know about the minion wave before we can move forward. As a general pointer, it's important to remember that if the enemy minion wave is healthier than your minion wave, and by healthier I mean overall the health pool of the enemy's minion wave is larger than your minion wave, so that could mean the enemy minion wave has about 2 or 3 more minions than your minion wave, or they simply have more healthier minions than your minions. Chances are their minion wave is going to push into your minion wave. So that's rule number 1 to remember. If their minions are healthier than your minions, they will push underneath your tower, and if your minions are healthier than the enemy's minion wave, you will push underneath their tower. Now for the second rule that you must remember, and this rule is especially important to Gangplank players, if you basic attack, that means just right click basic attack an enemy while next to their minion wave will get aggro of you and will immediately switch targets from attacking your minion wave to attacking you. What does this mean? Well, if it's level 1 and you parlay Q, for example, Gangplank's Q is counted as a basic attack. If you parlay Q the enemy at level 1 while you're next to their minion wave is going to switch aggro. Instead of attacking your minion wave, the enemy minion wave is going to switch aggro to you and start dealing a lot of damage to you. Well, what this means is that since the enemy minion wave isn't attacking your minion wave, what's going to happen is your minion wave is going to be a lot more healthier than the enemy minion wave, naturally, right? Because the enemy minion wave is attacking you. So what's going to happen is your minion wave is going to be healthier than the enemy minion wave, and like I said before, the healthier minion wave usually pushes into the enemy tower. So since your minion wave is healthier than the enemy minion wave, your minions are going to push into the enemy tower. Now these two rules are especially important to remember if you are someone that wants to have a safe laning phase and wants to be safe from getting ganked in the top lane. Let's put some context into the situation. Let's say it's a level 1, let's say we just entered top lane, it's a level 1 Gangplank versus a level 1 Jace in the top lane. Jace downright beats Gangplank levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the earliest stages of the game, Jace outright beats Gangplank. There is no way there's no reason for Gangplank to be pushing in his wave into the enemy tower. Therefore, we want the minion wave to be underneath our tower, underneath Gangplank's tower. So what do we need to do levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? First off, remember rule number 1, alright? Your enemy minion wave needs to always be healthier than your minion wave, because if theirs is more healthier than yours, over time, their minion wave is going to push underneath your tower and you can safely farm under your tower. That is our objective as Gangplank. Secondly, if our objective is to get the enemy's minion wave pushing underneath our tower and to freeze the minion wave underneath our tower or close to the safety of our tower, do not Q the enemy Jace, because going back to rule number 2, as I said earlier, basic attacks cause the enemy's minions to switch aggro. Now remember, this only applies to if Jace is standing next to his own minions and you Q him, his minions are going to start auto-attacking you. The range creeps, the melee creeps, they're going to start auto-attacking you. However, if Jace is all the way pushed forward, way ahead of his minion wave and is really close to your minion wave, feel free to Q him, because you won't get aggro off the enemy's minion wave. But remember that every time you basic attack the enemy, what's going to happen is their minion wave is going to push into you. So if we follow these 2 tips, okay, try to keep the enemy's minion wave healthier than your minions. So that means not unnecessarily auto-attacking your minions and just going for the last hits, and not queuing the Jace so that you get aggro of the enemy minions. Eventually, by level 2 or level 3, the minion wave should be pushing into your tower, which is exactly what Gangplank wants. He's a safe laner, especially against a Jace top lane. You don't want to be pushing in. You want to be safely farming up until you can at least buy a Sheen before you can start dueling Jace, and this will give you just that. Manipulating the minion wave can give you such a lead in the top lane. And to conclude this video, let's run over the tips one more time. Number 1, if the enemy's minion wave is healthier than your minion wave, they're going to push underneath your tower, which is what we want. Number 2, don't basic attack the enemy champion, because what's going to happen is their minions are going to switch aggro, and therefore your minion wave is going to be healthier than theirs, and your minion wave is going to push into their tower. So don't basic attack the enemy champion. Number 3, don't unnecessarily auto attack the enemy creeps. If you do, your minion wave is again going to be healthier than the enemies, so your minion wave is going to push underneath the enemy tower. There are a lot more minion wave management tips that I didn't include in this video just because I feel like it'll be convoluted with too much information. Therefore, we'll end the video on this note. Just remember these few tips, especially if you want to have a safer laning phase. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like so that I know that I should continue with more types of videos like these. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.